All right, let's go. If you were tired of not feeling fit, tired of just not having a focus, tired of just not having the life that you deserve, this is your place to be. I'm Jason Yarusi. Today, let's dive into leading by example. So many times we want things to come our way when in fact we're not putting in the actions, right? And I really love this quote. You can say all you want, but your conduct, what you do, speaks so loud. I can't hear what you say. Leaders should be examples for others to follow. And the words we say are just basically hollow promises that they're not followed up with the actions that promote what we've put out into the universe. And I had this great podcast with my friend Bobby, who I hadn't talked to in some time, right? Know him all the way back from college. But when I think about what I'm trying to put forth for my kids, right? What I'm trying to create for my kids is that I'm trying to create with them, of course, discipline, but also confidence and perseverance and the ability to be successful young men and women in their own right as they grow up into this world. And there's this fine line, right? If you're a parent, there's this fine line where you want to give your kids everything, right? You don't want them to have the same struggles, the same, doubts, the same fears. But on the other side of it, that they have to go through it, on their own, right? They have to learn in their own ways. They have to, have the challenges that give them, the layer of skin that there's going to be ready for when things hit them that are completely unexpected. I have a number of projects in a number of different states, and I got a call, yesterday about a project where there is an investor on a deal, and the guy committed suicide, right? And I look at that, and on two levels. One, just how unfortunate. A guy that on the outset looked like he had everything, right, and looked, completely in control with their life, which just sets the stage that we really you truly can't tell. You truly can't be in the know of what's happening with people. And on the other side of it, there, just it's very unfortunate for something like that to happen because you'd want it to, not happen too, but to just be in a position that you can help others around you always find a way to see through their darkest times, to see through when things are tough, when things are unexpected, when things produce results that are completely outside of the hope of the expectation. Yet, people struggle with this. And we see it so much, right? We see it so much where this country is built on founders, right? Built on people who have gone out and done things that have never been done before, and to create, just amazing new inventions, new technology. Yet so many struggle because they can't get in their mind a break. They can't get out of their own way. They get stuck in a rut. They get stuck, with habits of just drinking themselves to death, or just, negativity, or just, feeling down themselves. And it limits them throughout life. And on the outside, right, it seems like everything's perfect, but on the inside, they're stuck in their own mental and physical and emotional jail. So what we need in this life is more leaders. We need more of people who can be accountable and responsible to themselves, but they can use it in a way, where they can build others up and help others grow and help others achieve what truly is necessary to get the best of them in their life. And if you look at this, the importance of just uplifting and supporting others is critical. And you can do that without tearing them down. So when I think about giving my kids the ability to learn, to be disciplined, to be able to persevere, there's little moments, right? There's little moments where it's easiest for me, right, to go and just do the thing for them, right? Do the need. Hey, can you grab this? Can you pick this up? Can you zipper this up? Can you tie these shoes? Can you open the milk, right? There's all of these things that easy enough. I could just go over there in just 2 seconds or not, or I can put that back on them and give them the challenge. because they need the challenges, right? They need to part. There's this meme where this guy walks into the room at all different ages, right? Walks into the room when they, grew up in the 70s, first growing up in the 80s, first growing up in the 90s, first growing up in the 2000s. And each layer of the person who walks into the room and he bangs your shoulder on the wall gets weaker and weaker and weaker. And ultimately, the last one just ultimately collapses by just brushing the wall based on the pain and the agony, right? But there's a truth to this, right? There's a truth to the moment here where we are taking out the ability for us to be able to persevere through tough challenges. Every time something happens now, you see it all over Twitter, these people just, losing control, being reckless in their emotions because they feel so, put down by society that everybody's against them. But it's that we haven't raised young leaders and we haven't put these kids in a position to be ready to take forward the future of this country. So how do we do this? We lead by example. We lead by showing up and producing with our actions exactly what we said we're going to do. So can we count on you? Can we count on you to show up to help others forward? Because what I don't want is I don't want people to lose their life because they couldn't take the challenges that we're in. That's what we need. We need people who can help build others up, help bring others to their best self, bring others through tough times, bring others through the darkest times, bring others through the moments when it's truly tough. And I promise you, the tough times, like they're tough, right? They're hard, but you do get through them. You do get to the other side of them because with this, time passes. And with that part of you having the fortitude, having the bandwidth, having the ability to help others through it, right? It helps them understand that the world is not over. It's a moment of challenge. It's a moment of regret, of circumspect, of difficulty, but it's not the end. It's just that moment. So if I can count on you today to go out there and help others, if someone needs that, verbally, emotionally, it just needs that little support to get over that. Be the leader who can push through with example, who can help bring others up in a time that they need that little bit more than they have right now. Right? If this is helpful and this is something that ultimately needs to be shared, give it out to somebody else who just needs to hear this right now, who needs to get out of their own way to go out there and take the steps to live the life that's truly meant to be. I'm Jason Yarusi. This is the Living Podcast. Let's do this.